to take over other people. We're not shutting you down, Matt. This is a democracy here. It is not your show. It's everybody's involvement. Not right now. You can talk to the side, not at the mic, either of you. Bless you. Yeah, there are many of them here. Go ahead, sorry. You're right. Folks, show some respect. Matt, show some respect. Go ahead. You're up.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peggy Lee Kennedy, and I'm with Student Bomb. And I just want you to know that I consider myself an activist. I'm an activist. I'm not a vendor. And I don't go out to the free speech zone to make money. And it's a free speech zone. And I really, Bill, and I'm just wondering if there's any way, if you could please incorporate free speech zone into this, because, you know, that was probably one of the few things that I appreciated on the last ordinance when you made the motion about it being a free speech zone. So if there's some way that in the, when you make your initial motion, if you can say that it's a free speech zone, because it's really important to me. It's the most important thing, I think, that there is that the west side of the boardwalk is a free speech zone, not a vending zone.
Mr. Attorney, do you have any problem with that? Free speech zone? Mark? Do you have any problem with that?
With what?
So we can say, can we call it that? Can we call it the free speech zone? Yes, we're going to call it the free speech zone. We'll recommend it to the judge. We'll see if he lets us do it. Makes sense to me. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Please, come on up. You might. Introduce yourself. Do I have the balloons? Yeah, tell us your name.
Eden Andes.
Great.
Like if somebody ends up being 1 inch outside of their thing, they are, if somebody ends up being 1 inch outside of a little square, then they've committed infraction. And, you know, it's like, well, how they had it before was the rules end up somehow becoming the law. And it's like now they're writing the rules as part of the law. And that, along with evidently, you know, this lovely thing of like only the strongest survive thing that you have at the beginning. And I'm not a very strong person, and when I first started going there, was not too long after I had a stroke when I first started getting my paintings out. And I never, except for one time, ever had a problem. And, you know, with getting a space. Okay, the space might not be as large as I wanted. It might not be where I wanted. But to me, it's like...
People call my name, why not?
I think this whole thing is extremely stupid, and you know, there's the old expression that it's like all of you people seem to end up going for, oh, think outside of the box. Why can't you? You know, why can't you figure out a way to think outside of your little box of how to end up making people criminals for being an inch outside of your box that you paint and you determine, okay? Now, there are some people that use 1 square, 2 squares that are musicians. You know, one guy stands and plays the sax, and if he doesn't have anybody else, he doesn't have anybody else. Okay? And he doesn't require a great deal of space. There are other people that, based on their things, require space. You're willing to have awnings where people could actually hang something from an awning and cover up the whole view. And yet, you're not willing to have somebody with an easel that could be over 4 feet in order to paint a large you're willing to end up saying that books are free speech, and yet a painting that has writing, like go take a whatever, if someone ends up writing it on a pamphlet, it is somehow free speech. If they have it on a bumper sticker, it's free speech. But if they have that as part of a painting, it somehow stops being free speech. It becomes something inextricably intertwined. You know, everything that I've known of is inextricably intertwined. That means that you can't cut one away without cutting away some of the other. So to me, it actually is a form of free speech. Just like deaf people don't end up making a sound, but they still talk.
Thank you very much. We got Dr. John coming up.
Dr. John, ring of fire.
Right now, Phil, I'm going to talk to you in a minute. But we're talking to all Venetians. Now, the strong will survive. What is wrong is that there are a lot of people, what I call yuppies, hippie critics, who do anything for money is not even funny. So the problem is about schools and education. So I am involved, open, with my stuff still down in Parker Center. I've been denied due process, and I am the strong. Now we're going to ask Bill Rosenthal to check with Mr. Villa to come to Venice Beach this weekend, because I own Hippie Hill. Now I asked you last year to move everybody down one spot. Well, we have the #1 blues band in LA, and we're feeding people at the Venice Pavilion. And when we campaigned for Villa Grossi as a campaign organizer, eminent domain, he was supposed to be on our side. The Venice Pavilion was a cultural arts center, so we still, the good news is all I need is 22 Venetians for our class action lawsuit suing slumlords, the health department, and corrupt politicians. Now, the good news is that we are a phenomenal community. And the news for everyone that's listening to my voice, we're all living in pollution. This old hippie's got the solution. Now, what was the Venice Pavilion? We're going for the University of Venice for research and development of wind power, solar power. And we're doing an event at the Federal Building coming up for the impeachment of Bush, Cheney, Rice, Roe, Gonzalez. And I want a question to ask everybody. Did anybody have any trouble voting yesterday?
Hillary! Hillary!
All right, why I'm saying that is that there's an investigation about the voting. I was registered Green years ago, and for Kucinich, I registered Democrat. And they didn't have me listed. And I witnessed 5 people leave because they weren't allowed to vote. So it's not just Florida. Venice Beach will secede from LA. And that money and management will stay in Venice. And I've challenged Arnold Schwarzenegger email, I've challenged LAPD. Now, I'm not against LAPD. I'm against corrupt cops that are practicing.
And the cult of silence.
So we're going to have a special, we're asking people to boycott oil, join our critical mass around the Venice Circle. And by joining our secession movement, we don't have to listen to these stupid rules.